There's going to be a lot of triggers in this video, and I apologize for that, but I feel like this is something that I needed to get off my chest and explain to everyone the truth behind everything. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about something real, something that's very, very emotional, something that's a triggering point for probably a lot of people. And this is not easy to talk about. It's not something that I'm proud of, but it is a reality that happened in my life. So let's get to it. After shortly transitioning in 2018, I was very, very depressed. I had a lot of gender dysphoria leading up to my transition, and I had a lot of anxiety about everything. And I can't This is something that I wanted to talk about and get off my chest before I kept making videos. This is extremely emotional. It's very, very touchy, and it's not something that everyone talks about. So, right after I transitioned in 2018, I started looking up ways to take my own life. The first time I did it, I'm sorry if this is boring or emotional for people, but it is something that needs to be talked about. So I did try to take my own life twice. The first time was more of a planned out how I want to do it. The second time was I actually really tried to go through with it. I OD'd on my anxiety medication, and I nearly died. I was hospitalized for a week because I didn't know how to reach out. I didn't know what to do. I felt so alone in this world before I transitioned, and even after. To step out into the world every single day, to go to work, to do these things, it's hard. It's very, very hard, and I have to work up the courage every single day to go to work, to go out to the store. Is someone going to look at me? Is someone noticing? Does someone know? Am I going to get hurt? And these things take a toll on you. Sorry, it's hard. It's really, really tough. And I remember I went to the store one day when I first transitioned, and at the time I was wearing a wig. I didn't have long hair yet. And I went to the store and I'm standing in line, and the cashier kept saying, "Next, next." And then the cashier, she says, "Sir, hello, sir." And not thinking anything of it, she was talking to me. And I stepped up to the line, and I could hear her talking to the lady next to her, saying, Is that a man?" And I felt so uncomfortable, and I felt so ashamed of who I was. And I almost froze in place. I didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to run away. So after that, it really triggered my depression even further. It really made everything worse for me. I really started taking a lot of anxiety medications and things just to kind of get through my day. As the time went on, I started feeling like I was doing something wrong, that this wasn't right, that I was letting my family down. And I remember crying all the time, and I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to feel like this anymore. I didn't want to do this. So I started putting plans into motion, thinking about how I was going to do it, researching different ways, until I found one that worked for me. I had it all planned out for one night, and thankfully, as I was beginning to get things ready, my daughter came home. She didn't see anything, but I stopped and before she could notice. And I went on with my night and acted like nothing was going to happen. Shortly after my ex-wife at the time, my wife at the time, she said she didn't want to be married anymore. She didn't want to be married to a woman, and I had to leave. So I said, that's fine. I understand. And we tried to work it out for the first year of me transitioning. The next day, I apparently took it harder than I thought, and it was kind of like the end of the road for me. I didn't want to feel like this anymore, and I just lost my family. So I grabbed my medications and I began consuming a lot of them. I went to work, and I was obviously not right. They sent me home because they thought maybe something was wrong, which there was. And I came home and I made my children dinner, and I told them I loved them, and I told them I'd be back. And I got in my car and I started driving. And I went and I filled up my medication. And I started consuming more. And I drove and drove. And I kept taking more and more. And to the point where I don't remember anything after that. I ended up a few states over. And the state police, I guess, had found me. They tracked my phone because I had made some posts on social media of what I was doing. And once when they found me, I was barely breathing. I was pulled over somewhere, I guess. And they put me in the hospital. And I spent the next week in a kind of like a psych ward, trying to get better. And it was hard. It was a hard thing to do. And I just want everyone to know that it's definitely not the answer. There's ways through it all. You don't have to feel alone. And all the videos I search and all the different YouTubers, nobody ever talks about suicide. Nobody ever talks about behind those scenes without the makeup on. You take all that off, we're just a real person. The emotions every night. Even coming onto the camera right now and talking about what I'm talking about is really, really hard. And I just want everyone to know, those that have supported me and those who have stood by me this whole time, I love you, and I thank you for everything, and that I made it this far because of you. And I'm sorry that this is a sad topic to talk about, but it is something that is real, and it is very prevalent in the trans community. And I just want everyone to know that it's okay and that you're not alone in this world. There is so much to live for. There's so much to do. And what people think of you now is irrelevant. It makes no difference. I now feel so much better about who I am and the things that I've done in that time. When I first transitioned, it felt hopeless and it felt like I was alone, and I wasn't all along. My kids stood by me and helped me through this whole time, and I love them so much. And thank you all for everything. And I promise all the videos are not going to be sad and depressing. They will be more light, they will be happier, they will be more energy, and things are going to be better. They're definitely going to be better. I will be better. Thank you all for watching. I hope this didn't trigger anyone, and I hope you got something from this and to understand what it's actually like. And not everyone experiences the same things, but there's more people out there that do, and they're afraid to speak up about it, and they're afraid to talk about it because they don't want people to know that they're vulnerable, and being vulnerable means being human. So everyone, stay safe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos.